looking at all the photos. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Nicole, and here on We Mama I do lots of motherhood, lifestyle, cleaning and organisational videos. So if you like that kind of content, I would love it if you could stick around and maybe consider subscribing. Today's video is going to be Nina's 2-month update. I can't believe I'm probably going to say that in every single update video, you know, standard. She is 8 weeks old. She's 2 months already. It has flown by. Like it's October and she was born in August. It's flown by. I can't quite get over it. But here she is. Oh, look at those chubby little cheeks. There we go. I'm just bringing you in a little bit closer. That's a bit better. She's getting to that chunky stage where the cuddles are just so good. Oh, I'm just gonna embrace the cuddles and me holding her, because I know that from doing updates with my little boy, when it gets to about 4 or 5 months, it's really hard to hold them because they're just interested in everything else around them. Hello, can you see? She actually turned 8 weeks old yesterday, and we also had all her jabs, all her immunisations yesterday. It was horrible. It was actually 10 times worse than when I took my little boy. My little boy Didier is 2 in January. He is just over 1.5 years old, so yes, I have 2 under 2. Yeah, when I took him, they gave him the oral sugar last, so they injected him first on the leg and then they gave him the oral vaccine afterwards because it's got a sugary taste. So he calmed down after having that, whereas with her they did it the other way around. They gave her the sugar syrup first and then the injections. So she just screamed the place down. It was horrible because when she cries, her little lip goes, like, she starts off like that and then she just cries and it breaks your heart, you know, which is understandable. It was really, really horrible. It's a horrible thing to watch, having your babies go through that. I then had to give her Calpol, and she is exclusively breastfed, so she's only ever had breast milk before, obviously. So the Calpol, she just kind of spat back out. She did have like a bit of a high temperature, and she kept spitting the Calpol out. Right, I've just had to put her on my booby. Aside from all her jabs making her cry, she is absolutely fine. She also had like a little checkup whilst we were at the doctor's, and she's putting on so much weight, which just makes me feel really, really proud. And she now weighs 9 pounds 5 ounces. So she has put on 4 pounds since she was born, which is incredible. Nina was breech, so we had to go to the hospital and she had to have an x-ray on her hips just to make sure that everything was okay. The x-ray took about 5 minutes. She did not like having the cold gel, it was like an ultrasound x-ray. So yeah, she was not happy about the cold gel on her hips. She screamed the building down. I don't blame you, I wouldn't have liked that. She's absolutely fine. Hips are doing really, really well. It's just routine because obviously she was upside down in the womb. As I mentioned before, she is exclusively breastfed. She's doing so well. At the beginning, my nipples were really sore, and now it's just second nature. I just whack them out wherever I am. I'm so much more confident as the days go on. It's completely different to how I was with my first, where if I just saw anyone look like around me when I was about to breastfeed, I would just freak out and I couldn't bring myself to do it. This time, it doesn't matter who's in front of me, an old man, a woman, I don't care. Out comes the boob, which is the way it should be. So she's taken to breastfeeding really, really well. She tends to go for about 3 or 4 hours without a feed during the day, which is really, really good. And also the same at night. I'd say she goes for about 2.5 or 3.5 hours in the night. And while she's on the boob, she tends to have about 10 to 15 minutes, and that will make her quite content. I will literally just leave her on my boob until she tends to fall asleep, or she just pops off. She's definitely starting to be more vocal. If you have a chat to her, she'll just coo away. Especially if I leave her in the Moses basket, she just has a great time and she will just stare at the ceiling and just chatter away to herself. When my husband comes home, because he hasn't seen her all day, he will just chat away, and she likes to get really excited. Her fists will go, her tongue will go, open and close in her mouth, and her little feet will go. It's so lovely to watch. She just gets really excited whenever she sees her dad or her big brother. She absolutely adores my little boy Didier, her big brother. Whenever he's around, she can hear him laughing or giggling. Like, she becomes so smiley. She is definitely becoming more awake during the day. This can be a good thing and a bad thing, because whenever my little boy wants or needs attention, she will just start screaming. We have had that from day one, where she doesn't want to be put down I put that down to breastfeeding. We have started putting her in her chair and on the floor in her play gym a lot more. And at the beginning she hated being put down, but now as she's getting more familiar with it, she is staying in her little like activity chair and her play gym for a lot longer. Not by much, but it's better than it was, so we're getting there. I do need to put her down in these things because obviously I've got another little boy, and if I'm trying to sort him out, she just wants to be attached to me. So I do need her to sit down and be happy in these, like the chair and her Moses basket. Another thing that I do to try and get her to stay in her chair is put on the TV, which is a bit controversial, but if I need to change my little boy's bum or I need to cook tea, she's screaming, I will put her in the chair and I will put her in front of the TV and I will put onto YouTube like a baby stimulation video. So I particularly like one where it's like these black and red dots on a white background and they literally like bubbles, they bounce around the screen and she goes crazy for it. Her eyes widen, her hands go, her feet go, and it's just something for her to focus on. I'm really desperate and I just need like a moment to focus on something like cooking dinner. This is really, really helpful and she loves it. So aside from that, when she doesn't want to be put down, she does want to be close, she is a very happy and content little baby. She is definitely starting to fill out a little bit more. She's definitely got some chubby cheeks, just like her brother. She's putting on weight like there's no tomorrow, which is a good thing because she was so skinny and scrawny at £5.1 when she was born. She's definitely come out of all the tiny baby clothes now, and she's just at that awkward in-between stage where she's not quite newborn, but she doesn't fit into anything else. Her hair is growing. It's definitely coming in around the back of her head. She's still a little bit empty on top, but we're getting there, aren't we, Poppet? She absolutely loves bath time. I have to bath her with her brother. He loves to pour water over her at any given chance. To be fair to her, she loves it. She loves feeling the water being poured onto her belly. That's where I've trained him to pour the water. She doesn't like being put into the bath because it's cold. She does not like getting out of the bath because it's cold. But when she's in there, she loves it. Her little tongue goes, her legs go, she loves it. Whenever she comes out of the bath, the first thing I do is smother her in coconut oil, and her skin is fantastic. Even the doctors mentioned it, she had really good skin, there was no dry patches. I always take that moment to give her like a little baby massage. I can't do it for too long. She does not like being exposed. She does get cold quite easily. I'm exactly the same. This morning we went swimming, which is her first time. We put her in a little swimsuit that belonged to her brother, and she just slept the whole time. She slept the whole time in the pool, and she did get quite cold, so we did take her out after about 10-15 minutes. My little boy Didier, we took him at 5 weeks old and he was so awake for the whole thing, he loved it, whereas she just took that time to nap. As you can see, she absolutely loves to be held. She loves a good cuddle. If she is crying, if she is upset, you just need to hold her close, and I think it is just that warmth. Especially with me, and I will put this down to breastfeeding, because with my little boy we bottle fed and he would just go to anyone, but she is a little bit more clingy. She really has worked herself up and she is upset if my husband tries to calm her down. She won't calm as quick for him as she will for me. So I definitely put that down to being breastfed. As for me, I'm doing really well. I'm not gonna lie, I'm absolutely exhausted. I put this down to not just waking up in the night with her, but I am practically alone doing this. My husband, he is fantastic, but he does work very long hours. He is a head chef at a restaurant, like a very, very posh restaurant in the Cotswolds. He basically leaves the house at 8 o'clock in the morning and he doesn't come home until about 11:30 at night, and he only has 2 days off. So we have just relocated down to the Cotswolds last year, and I have no family here, and we're only just starting to make friends, but I'm here, you know, all throughout the week, all throughout the day, and I am doing this on my own with 2 babies under 2, so it is pretty exhausting. My little boy, bless him, is so good, but adding another little baby into that and not getting enough sleep, you know, just exclusively breastfeeding so that, you know, my husband can't even help out. It's taken a little toll and I'm exhausted. I just need coffee. As soon as I got a coffee in my hand, coffee gets me through it. When I found out that I was pregnant, I didn't weigh myself. I didn't with my first. I think because I am breastfeeding, I am losing little bits of weight. I can definitely tell when I put clothes on that some things fit a little better than they did before. Not bothered about how much I put on or lose as long as I'm eating healthy. I have just started to scale back a bit. I think when she was born and we went out for a coffee with family and friends, I'll just be like, yeah, have the cake, you know, you've earned it. Now that we still go out and have coffee shop visits, I'm just scaling back and just being like, you know, you don't need the cake now. If I don't really want it, if I don't really need it, don't have it. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to work towards. I've also started back up my yoga, so I've just found like postnatal exercises on YouTube, and they're just really handy. So whenever I get 10-15 minutes free in the morning, I will just start doing that, and they're just really easy to do. And I just love using my Apple Watch to just make sure that I'm closing my rings, and that's what I'm doing to just make myself feel a bit better, you know, health and weight wise. My scar is doing really well. I've had no infections, you know, touch wood, so far. It's healed really well. It just got really itchy at one point, but that ended quite quickly. The only thing is that that whole area is numb, and sometimes if my little boy does jump on me, you know, you can just feel it. Like, it doesn't hurt, but it is a bit uncomfortable. But aside from that, I'm doing really well. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, if it was any help, I would love it if you could leave any comments below or like this video. It really helps to support and grow my little channel. I would love it if you could consider subscribing. I would love to build a little community on here. Thank you so much for watching and being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.